I really want something unique for my brush. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a custom-made brush, and then how to use it. Okay, so I've got a separate picture here of a seagull, and I want to make a brush out of this seagull to use. Okay, I'm going to use it sort of like a rubber stamp and just kind of stamp it on my background in a few places. Okay, so this picture happens to be a pretty easy one to work with. It's got a pretty solid background color. I know it varies a little bit, but it's pretty solid background color. The seagull itself is kind of variated. It might be hard to select, but that background's going to make it easy. So I'm going to get my magic wand tool and just click. Look, my tolerance is a little bit low, so I think the default for this is 32. Okay, this tolerance, for this selection tool goes from 0 or maybe 1 all the way up to 255 or 256. Okay, and when it's up on that high end, if you just click in here, it's going to select the whole image. Okay, it's going to be too high. If you set it at 1 or 2 or 3, it's going to be really low, and it's only going to select like 1 or 2 pixels at a time, and you'll get frustrated with it. Okay, so I'm going to set it on 32. I think that's the default, and just click in the background. I got almost all the background selected here. You see? I'm going to hold the shift key down and click again, and the whole background is selected. Okay, now what I want to do is get the seagull, not the background selected. Okay, in this particular case, so I'm going to go to select and do inverse. Now I have the bird selected. Okay, now with that selection, you can make a brush out of any selection that you have. Selections are very important in Photoshop. It's one of the great superpowers of Photoshop. Selecting tools, selections, what can you select, how it selects pixels. It's one of the big things that Photoshop can do. Okay, layers is the other really big thing that Photoshop can do. It does layers really well. Okay, so I'm gonna with that seagull selected, I'm gonna go up under the edit menu. Now don't forget the edit menu, where I can change things. I can edit things. I can manipulate some things. Okay, and I'm going to drop down here to define brush preset. It's below the free transformer section. Define brush preset. I'm going to click that, and I'm just going to call this Seagull 2 _2. Or actually, let's just make it 1 because it is the first one. Okay, and click OK. Now I just instantly got a brush in the form of a seagull. Okay, it is pretty big. I might need to make that smaller. Okay, but I'm going to in fact switch out of it for a minute. Okay, so I don't really need this anymore. I'm gonna go back to my Harbor YouTube channel image, and I want to use the brush tool that I just made. I'm gonna see it's already selected. It's usually at the very bottom, okay, of your section that you're working with. I'm going to go ahead and select it. And again, I can't paint on this type layer, so I'm just going to add a new layer, and I can paint on this. Now there's my bird. Okay, the brush is too big. That's too little. There he is. Okay, so there I go, and I'm not sure I want to stick with red. I think I'm gonna do a blue because I am kind of a grayish blue, and I'm gonna use that in the for birds in the background. Okay, so here I go, and I'm just gonna click on this. This is gonna be on a separate layer, but they're gonna be in the background. And I'm just going to put these guys in here. In fact, I'm going to vary the sizes. Okay, and I've just got some birds in here. I'm going to vary the size again. This makes a really good option for, I think it's that 6th layer where you're supposed to try out a tool, gradient tool, brush tool, layer styles. Okay, try something out that we haven't tried. It's your option, but I need that particular layer for you to get your full score on this project. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I got another bird. Okay, and they're just going to be in the sky in the background. Okay, that works for me. Okay, another size. Let's do a little different sizing, a little bit bigger maybe. All right, and maybe just a couple more. Right there, right there. And I'm going to do one more. Make it a little bigger. And there it is. Okay, so that's my birds. I like that. That really makes a nice addition to the image. It fits. It fits with the theme. I'm not in any danger of going out of my strategy for the theme of or the topic of the channel or even the episode. We're talking harbors, birds, waterfront, that kind of thing. This kind of bird would be there, and it fits. And I'm using the brush. I created a new brush, so it works for that. And I just want you to really try something different. And this is the brush tool. It is a custom brush. Oh, I do want to show you one more thing about brushes, okay? And let's just go get a regular brush. Okay, so I'm going to scroll. Usually when you make a custom brush, it's the last brush. It shows up as the last brush in this long list. It's the latest one, and usually it's selected by default, okay? Once you make, as soon as you make a custom brush, it thinks you want to use it, of course, immediately. So there are some different types of brushes in here. You can choose them, but your newest custom-made brush is probably going to be the very bottom one, and you can see it's Seagull _3 right there, or _1. That's the name of my brush. Okay, so I could make a series of brushes for birds if I wanted to.